Hello, it's Mac here, and today I'm talking about the patch notes for update 1.35 in GTA Online. So this is the update that came with the Cunning Stunts DLC, and I want to be talking about that in this video and sort of, talk about the things that you may not have noticed that were added in this update and that were in the patch notes. So this is not going to be talking about any of the new vehicles, any of the new clothing, any of the new races, stuff like that. This is going to be the stuff that you may not have noticed because, it isn't as obvious. But if you do check out the patch notes and stuff like that, then you will be able to read up on it. And this is actually a pretty big patch. So I'm not going to be going through every single fix because there are a lot. And I will just talk about the big stuff. And if you do want to go read up on all of the fixes and stuff, all the small ones, then I'll leave a link in the description to the patch notes off of the Rockstar support website. So getting into the new features / updates for PS4, Xbox One, and PC, then first off, the personal interaction menu has been reorganized and new menus have been added. Changes include 1. Style and vehicles sub-menus have been added to help condense the personal interaction menu. I love this change personally because while it may mean that you have to press another time, another A to get into, say, requesting a vehicle or something like that. However, this is very good because there are a lot of, things that you didn't really use much. And I think it was like at 25 or something like that, 25 different options that you have to scroll through. So if you wanted to, say, go request a personal vehicle, you have to go through a lot of different options just to do that. Now, you just have to go to the vehicle tab, and there you are. So overall, this is very good. It just sort of makes the interaction menu a little bit smaller, which is very good. And you have less options in there. Well, you still have the same amount of options, but it just aren't on the same level as every other one, which is very good. I would like to see if you could maybe personalize it a little bit more, because I know, personally, I don't really want the request personal vehicle in my vehicles option, or I don't want to go buy ammo from, certain options in my inventory and stuff like that. So I would like to be able to customize that a little bit and choose what I want in my vehicle tab and organize it myself. However, this is a nice change overall. Next up, the race and outfit option has been added so players can choose an outfit to wear during stunt races. Players can now set any saved outfit as their racing outfit. This is nice because if you ever want, in certain races to have your racing outfit, pretty nice. And it's not a big change. However, if you do want to look a little bit different in your races, then you can do that. Next up, the bike helmet option has been added so players can choose a default helmet to wear on motorcycles in free mode and in races. If you ever want to choose what bike helmet you want, then you can do that, which is very nice. Next up, the helmet visor option has been added so players can choose to have their helmet visor up or down by default. Players can also open or close their helmet visors while on foot or on a bike. Hold the D-pad on the right, so the right D-pad when wearing a helmet with a visor to toggle the visor up or down. This I like, but I don't really know if I like it as much on the D-pad and stuff. Like, I like it in your action menu, but do you really need it, on your D-pad? Like, really, I don't feel like that's that important. I would have liked that to be something else. Like, I don't think there was anything for your right D-pad aside from your lights. I think your lights. Yeah, so on your car, that your lights, but then wouldn't that affect bikes? Because you can also turn off your lights on your bikes. I guess if you hold it down, then that's what it would do. So, yeah, it's not that big of a deal, but I would have liked it if it was just in your action menu that they had hold right D-pad for something else. If they saved that for another option if they ever wanted to add that into the game. So also a fast zoom button has been added to the Rockstar Creator. This is pretty nice. I'm guessing that they're just preparing for stunt races whenever those come out on August 2nd. So that's pretty nice. And next up, websites now indicate which vehicles are Pegasus vehicles. This is an amazing change because I'm sure there are some people out there who probably bought, say, the Karen Technical, the Karen Rebel with the gun on the back, and they're like, "Ooh, that's a cool car," and they can't even store it in their garage. So I'm sure some people may have had that problem, and it's very nice. Now, if you are a new player and you don't know what vehicles are Pegasus vehicles, now you know, and it tells you. I don't know how important this is because the game's been out for 3 years, but it's good. It's better than nothing, I guess. Also, the MTL Brigade is now delivered with bulletproof tires when ordered from Pegasus. This also affects all previously purchased MTL Brigades. I love this change because the Brigade, it really wasn't that great. Like, in my opinion, I never bought the vehicle, and I probably still won't because it's just, I don't feel like I'll need it. But this is just nice if you ever bought it. You know, you have this huge vehicle here that could just ram through anything, where you have people, you know, hanging off the sides, and it just has lots of armor. Actually, it doesn't even have that much armor. And it's just kind of like, why doesn't it have bulletproof tires? You could put that on any other car in the game, but why not this vehicle? And they already made that mistake in the past with the Karen Technical. Whenever the Heist update came out, the Karen Technical did not have bulletproof tires. And then you look, I think Ill-Gotten Gains update 1 or 2, they made it so that it did have bulletproof tires. And then you look at here, they made the same mistake. And it's just like, I think any Pegasus vehicle that has armor on it should have bulletproof tires, because you can put it on any car in the game. Why not here? So that's pretty nice. And it's not a big deal. I think the vehicle still goes down in like 1 or 2 RPG hits. And I feel like it's a small change, but I feel like it's a start for the MTL Brigade to be a little bit better. Next up, there are 2 Rockstar editor fixes for PS4, Xbox One, and PC. So they fixed an issue that caused pickup icons to be visible for recorded Rockstar editor clips made during the adversary mode power play, which was the one that was added in the X80 event. These will no longer be visible in future clips. That's nice. I don't know how many people will affect, because I don't know how many people use, you know, power play for Rockstar editor. But if you do, well, let's say you want to, you know, record on like the aircraft carrier or something, you may need to do that. And it's pretty nice. Next up, they fixed an issue that may have caused bullet decals on vehicles to not render correctly when previewing a clip in the Rockstar editor, which is kind of nice. If you ever wanted to, you know, look at those bullet decals on vehicles, that's pretty nice. Next up, there are a few Rockstar creator fixes. So they fixed an issue that resulted in parachutes being available for placement in the GTA race creator. This I don't really like too much, because if you ever wanted to do, say, a GTA race where it's like a parkour race, you can't do that anymore with these parachutes. So that's a little disappointing. I don't know why they took it out, because if you didn't want to ever place them, you just couldn't have to. You know, you didn't have to place them. So I don't know. That's not that big of a change, but I feel like it may affect some people who do, like, you know, parkour races and stuff like that. Next up, they fixed an issue that resulted in team start point requirements to not adjust to the max number of players set in deathmatch details section. So yeah, that was pretty nice. You always had to place, like, what was it, 15 or 30 team start points, and most of them wouldn't be even used, so that's pretty nice. Next up, they fixed an issue that resulted in the camera to get stuck facing down while trying to place a prop in the creator. They also fixed an issue that resulted in players to get stuck in the creator's test mode after dying by falling from a large height. Then there are a few other small changes that were just, you know, this miscellaneous changes for the PS4, Xbox One, and PC. And they say fixes have been implemented to improve game stability and network performance for GTA Online. I don't know how true that is. They say that pretty much every patch, so I'm not too sure if that's true, because they never really go into details on it. Then they also fixed multiple crashes in GTA Online free mode. That's pretty nice. Anything that improves crashing is very nice. They also fixed an issue that caused the game to crash when a large number of players in a GTA Online session attempted to vault a wall at the same time. That is just the weirdest thing that they'll patch. Like, I just imagine a number of players just climbing a wall at the same time and all getting freezes. Like, it's a little weird for them to have a glitch from, you know, because, I don't know. I guess it's nice that it's patched, but it's just kind of a little weird that that was actually a problem in the game in the first place. Next up, they fixed a crash that occurred when attempting to launch the adversary mode trading places. That's a pretty big deal whenever people are trying to launch an adversary mode and it just crashes their game. Next up, they fixed an issue that caused the side windows off of a modified Imponte Phoenix to disappear when entering a garage property. That's a little weird, I guess. So, yeah, that's a little weird. I'm surprised. Like, I think that would have been in the game since the beginning, because the Phoenix has been in the game since the beginning. So, yeah, that's a little weird. They also fixed an issue that caused an invalid time to appear for the average time per session statistic on the pause menu. On my main character in GTA Online, it used to be, like, in the millions. Like, just something, like, super high for the days, right? So it was, like, millions of days, or even hundreds of thousands of days, or something like that, was my average time per session, even though my total time isn't even that high. So, well, it's high, but not as high as, you know, hundreds of thousands of days and stuff. So, yeah, it's pretty nice that they patched that, although it was a little funny that your average time per session could have been, like, super high. They also fixed an issue that displayed an incorrect description for the tugboat on the DocT's website, so that was pretty nice. Whenever they added in the tugboat to GTA Online on Finance and Felony, they just said like input description here or something like that. It was just something like just basic, and you know, it was just like they forgot to actually put in the description for the tugboat. And it was kind of funny that, you know, they didn't actually have like a tugboat description, but that has now been changed. And then they also fixed an issue that caused frame rate stuttering when changing accessories or outfits in the personal interaction menu. I've noticed that, but it doesn't seem to be that much better. I still get frame rate drops whenever I'm going through my interaction menu, so that's not that fixed. And then finally, they fixed an issue that resulted in players seeing 400-hour cooldown timers for the VIP Works, Privacy Prevention, and Sightseer. I think also it happened to me for Executive Search, and it was just like 400-hour cooldown, and it would fix itself, I think, if you quit the game and restart it. But it's just nice that they patched that. There are a few other changes and stuff like that, but I'm not going to be going through that. And if you are interested in reading them up on all of them, then I will leave a link in the description. But anyways, let me know your thoughts on these patch notes in the comments. Is anything that you wanted to be fixed? Is that fixed? Let me know your thoughts on that in the comments. Hope you enjoy. Feedback is appreciated. I'll see you guys in the next video.